Good morning. We'll start session 5 on chapter Chemical Reactions and Equations. In our previous class, we completed all the types of reaction, that is combination reaction, decomposition reaction, displacement reaction and double displacement reaction. Along with these reactions, we also understood two different types of reactions where energy is involved, that is endothermic reaction and exothermic reaction. We also understood the two different types of experiments. One was Pott test, that is to check the presence of hydrogen gas, and the another was electrolysis of water. Now we'll move on to the next part of the lesson, oxidation and reduction reaction. So we'll first understand with the definition what is oxidation reaction or what we mean by term oxidation. Addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen is called as oxidation. I repeat, addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. You can as well write it only in one statement saying that addition of oxygen in the given reaction is called as oxidation reaction. It is correct. Removal of hydrogen from a given reaction is known as oxidation reaction. That is also correct. Or both if you write, when we are adding, oxidation is something, adding oxygen, that is why the name oxidation. Addition of oxygen, you are adding. So, you remember that when you are adding oxygen, you have to remove hydrogen, right? Let us see with examples. Now I have copper. When I burn copper in the presence of air, that is Cu plus O2. When I expose or when I heat or burn the copper in presence of air, I get copper oxide. That means addition reaction. I am adding oxygen to the copper. That is why I am getting copper oxide. Our very first reaction again, magnesium ribbon burnt in the presence of air gives us magnesium oxide. You remember this? Yes. This is also an oxidation reaction, what we can see. Second one, iron plus oxygen will give us ferric oxide. What is this? This is nothing but rust. That means when we talk about oxidation reaction, it is nothing but we are talking about rust. Anything which is exposed to the atmospheric air or moisture for a long period of time, that undergoes oxidation, I can tell, which is nothing but rust. So ferric oxide is rust here. Iron exposed to the atmospheric air or moisture for a very long period of time, we get ferric oxide, which is nothing but rust. Calcium plus oxygen again gives you calcium oxide. We have all done this equation in combination or one or the other reaction. That means we are adding oxygen here. Look at the last reaction. Zinc plus hydrochloric acid. What do I get? I am adding here, when I add zinc plus hydrochloric acid, I get zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas is liberated. That means I am adding hydrogen. I am removing this hydrogen from this. This hydrogen is removed from this. That is why I get zinc chloride. So what does this tell? Addition of oxygen. First reaction, addition, addition, addition and addition. Removal of hydrogen, I will just write minus here. That means I am removing hydrogen from this. That is why I am getting zinc, which is called as removal of hydrogen, or addition of oxygen is called as oxidation. Only one example I have given where I have removed oxygen, where I have removed hydrogen. That is why I have formed zinc chloride and hydrogen gas is liberated. These all are the examples of oxidation reaction. Right? Simple. If you remember one or two examples, that's more than enough where we add oxygen to it. Next, we'll go to reduction reaction. If you understand or you remember the definition of oxidation very well, writing reduction is very easy. I'll again tell this. Addition of oxygen, I'm adding oxygen, I have to remove hydrogen. What will be here? It will be opposite. Reduction. Removal of oxygen. That means when I am removing oxygen, what I can add? I can add hydrogen. It is exactly the opposite of this what we write. So if you remember oxidation well, see, remembering oxidation is very simple. Oxygen, oxidation, it comes out in the same thing. So addition of oxygen we are doing means we are removing hydrogen here. Here we are removing oxygen and adding hydrogen, which is called as a reduction reaction. Let us see few examples. Chlorine, when it is passed with hydrogen sulfide, we get hydrochloric acid plus sulfur gas, what we get here. Now, what is happening here? Is removal of oxygen happening or addition of hydrogen happening? Just see here, addition of hydrogen is happening to this chlorine, right? From this, we have added hydrogen to this. Addition of hydrogen is happening here, which is called as a reduction reaction. Look at the second one, C2H4 and C2H6. These are carbon compounds. So I will not name them now because carbon compounds we have a chapter, carbon and its compounds. There you will understand this. So for this carbon compound I am adding hydrogen, I am getting this. That means we are adding hydrogen in the given reaction. That is why it is called as a reduction. Either you can add hydrogen or you can remove oxygen. Now we understood what is oxidation and we understood what is reduction. Now what will happen? Oxidation and reduction will happen simultaneously in one given equation. Such a type of reaction is called as redox reaction. Redox reaction because red is for reduction, ox is for oxidation. Why don't we call that as ox-red reaction? No, because it might not sound well. So always we call this as a redox reaction only, because first the reduction happens and then the oxidation actually happens. In the given reaction you will come to know we call redox because first reducing happens and then oxidation happens, right? So it is called as a redox reaction. How do we define this? A reaction in which both oxidation and reduction happen simultaneously. Such a reaction is called as a redox reaction. Let us see an example. When cupric oxide reacts with hydrogen, we get copper and water, right? So let us first understand what has happened now. Cupric oxide, that means there is an oxygen in the copper. Now I have to remove that oxygen and reduce it to copper. That means cupric oxide is reduced to copper, correct? What has happened? Reduction has happened here. Okay. Hydrogen, here oxygen is added to hydrogen. So what has happened here? Oxidation is happening. Both the reactions are happening. Oxygen is reduced to copper. Here cupric oxide, in that oxygen is removed. It is reduced to copper. There is no oxygen here. Reduction. Removal of oxygen is happening here, right? We are subtracting something from the copper here. If you are subtracting something, what will remain? Only copper will remain. Reduction reaction is happening. Okay. Next come to this. Hydrogen was as it is hydrogen only. But what got added to hydrogen? Oxygen got added to hydrogen. Whenever oxygen will get added, it is called as oxidation, right? We'll see one more example. Sodium hydroxide reacts with hydrochloric acid to give sodium chloride and water. Now what has happened here? Sodium hydroxide is reduced to sodium chloride. Reduced to sodium chloride means what we have done? We have removed the oxygen from sodium hydroxide, correct? Only sodium is there. We have removed the oxygen, that is why we got sodium chloride here. Where did the oxygen go? We'll come to it. Next, hydrochloric acid is oxidized here. What water we have got here? This hydrogen, oxygen is added to it, right? So we have added oxygen, so it is oxidation. We have reduced this to NaCl. NaOH is reduced to NaCl, so it is reduction. So now we understood in the same reaction which is reduction and which is oxidation. Remember one thing, definition of a redox reaction is asked. Examples on redox reaction is asked. You need not mention this is reduction in oxidation. That question they will not ask you anytime. This I have written only for your understanding, right? You can write it in explanation, but usually this explanation will not be asked. What is asked here in the given question or in the given reaction, which is oxidizing agent and which is reducing agent? That is the most important thing what is asked in redox reaction. Sometimes what they do is they just give you one random equation. Not just random equation, an equation involving in redox only is given. And they ask you from the given equation, identify the reducing agent and the oxidizing agent. To understand reducing and oxidizing agent, first of all you should know what is being reduced and what is being oxidized. That is main important. Let me again come to first one. Copper oxide is reduced to copper, correct? Hydrogen is, oxygen is added to it, so we got water. Understood this much? Now let us see what is reducing agent and oxidizing agent. What do you mean by oxidizing agent? Oxidizing agent is something which gives oxygen. As simple as that. What is reducing agent? Reducing agent is something where we remove the oxygen or we add hydrogen. Anyone think in that? Correct? From the definition only. Oxidizing agent is some agent which gives oxygen. Reducing agent which removes oxygen. Remember this much. From here we understand now copper oxide. Now in the whole equation, what is giving you oxygen? Now this part is oxidation, we understood, right? That is, here it is getting added. From where it is getting added, from which part it is getting added, from which element or which compound we are taking? We are taking that from copper oxide. So copper oxide is an oxidizing agent. Why? See, now for example, we call some people as agent. Like we call them as a broker, agent. Okay, let me tell. This person is a agent who will show me some houses for rent or for lease or to buy. Why do we call that person as a house agent? Because that person has some houses with him. With him in the sense, he knows certain people, he knows to sell. Correct? That is why he is called as an agent. He is having something with him. Similarly, copper is having oxygen with it. That is why it can give oxygen. If it did not have oxygen, can I call hydrogen as a oxidizing agent term? I cannot call. Why I cannot call? Because hydrogen doesn't have oxygen. Now can you call me a social science teacher? No, because I do not know anything about social science. Can you call me a math and science teacher? Of course yes, because I know about it. Similarly, copper oxide has oxygen in it. So, it is called as an oxidizing agent because it can give oxygen from its pocket. It has already. Okay. Next. Come to the next part. They will ask you what is reducing agent. Now, reducing agent means what? Where we remove oxygen or we add hydrogen. Correct? Now, here it is getting added here. Hydrogen is reduced or we can say it is getting added to this part. Hydrogen is getting added to oxygen here. That is why hydrogen is a reducing agent. That oxygen which it gave, it went to the hydrogen. Yes? Let's move to the next one. Sodium hydroxide. From where did this get oxygen? From where did hydrogen get oxygen from? From which part of the equation? Did it get from HCl? HCl does not have oxygen only. Then from where did the H2O get the oxygen from? It got from NaOH. So, NaOH is the oxidizing agent. Then which is the reducing agent? HCl. See, one trick I'll tell you here. If you identify the oxidizing agent, the next, whatever is the given compound has to be the reducing agent. See, they will not give you 3 equations or 3 reactants here. Always remember, only 2 reactants are given where 2 or more products are formed. Okay. So, our aim is to identify the oxidizing agent and reducing agent from the reactant side only. That is, I have to, okay, this is oxidation reaction. I have to identify from these part only. I can't identify from somewhere else. So what best I can do is, let me first find oxidizing agent. Okay, that is something which has oxygen in it. It is very easy to identify. What is remaining? The next part, that is reducing agent. Your work became very simple, right? Now try to identify some equations given in the book, which is oxidizing and which is reducing, because it is very important question. This part will be asked. So is this very clear? If you understand, remember oxidizing agent, reducing agent, you can just write whatever is in the next part. That's the best trick to write oxidizing and reducing agent. So this is all about oxidation and reduction reaction. So in our tomorrow's class, we will study some day-to-day applications on this redox reaction. For example, how do we come across these redox reactions in our day-to-day life? Yes. Now one example which I gave you was rust here. That means rust is nothing but when iron is exposed to the atmospheric air for a very long period of time, it catches rust. Now that means all metals, when we expose it to the atmospheric air, it gets corroded. We cannot call rust. Rust is only for iron. Silver also will turn the color. Any silver ornaments, if you have seen, it turns black. If you have copper, brass or any other metals, that will turn bluish, greenish color. Correct? That means every metal will corrode in its own way. Iron is called as a rust. Now what is that for other elements? What are the applications of the redox reaction in our day-to-day life? That will be dealing in our next class. So in today's class about redox reaction, reduction and oxidation, if you have any doubt, you can call on the same day of the video set.